Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
A warm welcome to Sheila, who's going to be talking to us today about the Ronnie Gardiner method. So, looking forward to it, Sheila. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having us. Thank you for letting me come on here and talk about it. Quite excited, really, because it's so nice to get this out there to people. We're very sort of, obviously with COVID and that, not been able to do very much, just like everybody. So having this opportunity is fantastic. Ronnie Gardiner method for me has been really quite overwhelming, really, with the people that we can help. We can help people with Parkinson's, stroke, MS, dementia, you name it, and healthy aging. There's just so many people we're able to help with this. So, that's where we're aiming it at. And really more wider the field, we're just sort of very limited to where we've been. I think the furthest we've got is Manchester, which is good. We aimed it at an Asian Asian people over in Manchester. Sorry, Sean's sort of dodging about, I'm sorry about that. And we had a really good outcome there. The people were really overwhelmed with what we did. Today we've got a very short, brief slide thing to show you to do with Ronnie Gardiner and myself, obviously. Here's Ronnie. Ronnie is 87. I'll just move on and show you the next one. Okay. Ronnie Gardiner method, what it's about, let's talk about that. Ronnie Gardiner method has been implemented in healthcare and rehabilitation since 1993 in Sweden. The method can be used to help people with brain injuries, diseases of the central nervous system, as well as the use of healthy brains. Okay, Ronnie Gardiner method is a multi-sensory audio, visual and tactile method and helps with kinetic energy with rhythm, music, sound and movement codes. Okay, let's go on to the next one. These are some of the benefits that we've found, well, Ronnie's found, but we've found as well with people. The benefits, some of the benefits, improved concentration, coordination, helps stimulate the movements. That's with music. It develops motor skills, improves between the mind and the body, develops a positive attitude, creates inner harmony, improves self-confidence, improves the memory, and enhances energy. And the biggest thing we found with people is the joy that people have and the fun they have when they come to our sessions, whether that's just a taster session or whether it's one of the sessions we've held in an afternoon with people. And when they come in, the change in them is just incredible. From walking in and just sort of coming in, some people come in with sticks, some people come quite low mood. Some people you can see that they're in pain. And by the end of an hour and a half session, you see such a difference. They're walking out, they're lifted, they're not hobbling. Some people even forget to get hold of their walking sticks, which really, blows you away sometimes. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. This is just a little bit about how RGM works, okay? You can see, just vaguely see, I've got the blue band, which is on the right hand, by the way, and I've got the red band, which is on the left side of the body. Okay. Symbol sound movement codes in the colours red, blue, red, blue. Okay, so we've got red, blue, red and blue. That's a joined movement. These two movements are single movements. Okay, we'll go on to the next part. Red is left, which I've just told you. Blue is on the right. Each symbol has a name. So this one, okay, is big. That's the red side, that's the left side. The right side is called 2. The one that's joined together where you bring both hands together, is clap. Each symbol represents a movement to rhythm and movement to music. Music is very, very timed. It's so important because that is what Ronnie's about. I haven't mentioned a lot about Ronnie, but Ronnie is a drummer, and he's 87 years old. And he is my inspiration. He lives in Sweden, and he's still, well, up until COVID, he was still out there playing his drums, also promoting his own method in lots of countries all over the world. The last place he went was New Zealand. Let's see what the next one is. Okay. Neuroplasticity and RGM. The Ronnie Gardiner method is a multi-sensory exercise method that uses music, rhythm, and movement to optimize the condition of the brain and stimulate neuroplasticity. I don't know if anybody knows about neuroplasticity and how all the rewiring goes on, but they have found using, well, lots of things. I mean, lots of things help with neuroplasticity, but this in particular, RGM, has really shown itself for really helping rewire the brain. And with helping rewire the brain, it helps the body as well to move. And we found lots of cases like that that have really made a difference with people. Okay. Neurons that fire together, wire together. The more the brain does a certain task, the stronger the neural pathways become, making the process more efficient and successive each time. So with the RGM, we go over and over and over quite a bit of the same movements to the same, not always the same music and things, but we move, the movements are very much the same, but we use different sorts of movements, we call them courier scores. And courier scores are a bit like a musical frame, but rather than, they are a musical frame because they work to the music. But each, like I said, each movement has a musical, so it's musical and it's timed in to most times to a beat of 4. And that helps stimulate the brain and helps with the movement as well. And we found that it really, the timing is so really important. And the firing of the brain is it just blows me away every time. And I think with that, before I carry on, once over, just talking a little bit about that is how, with doctors, they used to say that once the brain had died and been problems, whether it's stroke or brain injuries of any sort, that was it. They'd send people home from hospital and there's nothing else people could do. Now with neuroplasticity, they know that the brain does rewire itself and will reconnect. And there was a brain specialist over in London did a talk when we did one of the courses, and he said, think of neuroplasticity like a sparkler. Okay. So when you're firing the brain up and you're feeding it with new information, it's like a sparkler. And what happens is then it starts to spark with new information. And as it starts to spark, then it starts to connect with new information. And the more you do that, as I said before, the more you connect, the stronger it becomes. And that is what RGM is about, going over things and bringing things together. New movement, not to say new movements, continuous different movements with words as well, and continually doing that, but changing the courier score, changing the musical movements every time. And the only way you're going to find out that is in a minute, because we're going to have a little go with that, so be ready. Okay, left hemisphere, which is okay, the left side of the brain, which is interesting. Because I don't know if you realise that this side of the body, which is the left side, is this part of the brain, and this and the right side is on this side of the body. Okay, so this is the left hemisphere, and that is word for word processing. And some of the words we have: too big, clap bang. Okay, so that's all verbal, intellectual, logical, rational, analytical, linguistic skills, reasoning, reading, writing, maths, details, rhythm and sense of eye. Okay, let's go to the other side, because these are both sides we use in RGM. The right hemisphere That's the opposite side, obviously, that works at the other side of the body, which is this side. Okay. Image processing. So that's more about these here. So we've got tune, we've got big, we've got clap, and we've got bang. Okay, they're the words, some of the words. We've got 19 of these, by the way. Okay, this is it. This side of the body, right hemisphere, is emotional, intuitive, creative, holistic, visual, spatial, imaginative, daydreaming, sense of colour, melody, a sense of we. We look at this quite a lot because we ask people what side of the brain they might work on. Okay, it's really interesting how many more people, especially in our field of spirituality and very creative people such as myself, I'd feel a lot of us work on this side rather than the other side. But with RGM and in life itself, it's really vital to have a good balance, okay, of both sides of the brain. And somebody that had good balance is Leonardo da Vinci, okay. He was an architect, an inventor, engineer, physicist, philosopher, writer, painter, composer, sculptor. So he had a really good balance. And what we find with RGM, it really brings that balance and it helps. I've got dyslexia. I probably found out that I got it more, well, I should say a lot worse than what I thought I had when I started doing the RGM and going on the courses. It highlighted when I was looking down at left and right and which side, and everybody else seemed to be getting it. And I was stood there thinking and looking down and what leg I should be moving and what arm should be moving with it. It made me really aware how bad I had, dyslexia. But I'm doing the RGM, and the more I've done it over the past, I've been doing it for about 8 years. It's just blown me away, and I'm a lot clearer thinking, maybe a bit more logical than what I've ever been. And I remember numbers, I remember people's names. When people say the names, most of the time, I won't say all the time, but a lot of the time I remember the names. But it's helped me, and that's I find that fantastic and quite amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to give you a little practice, and we're going to run through just a very small section of a taster of what RGM is about. And I'm going to ask Sean to do this because he's my assistant. He's done 2 courses of RGM, so and he was inspired by myself, to say the least, but I was obviously inspired by Ronnie, and I've passed it on, and Sean is just blown away with it and really has got well into it, but it's more into the technical side, but he's really following this now. I'm just going to tell you basically what this is, and then we'll bring the courier score in, which Sean will do. Okay, so this movement is called tune. Okay, I don't know, hopefully you can see the colour, and hopefully you'll remember what side of the body it's on. Okay, might be a bit strange. Okay, let's go that way. Okay, which is the right side of the body. Okay, and it's called tune. The words are really important, and a lot of people find when they start saying the words, they say, well, why don't you just use right and left? And what Ronnie says is that isn't going to challenge your brain, because we all know what right is and we all know what left is. But using new words, it's like you learning a new, new language. Okay. So this particular one is using one side of your body, which is the right side of your body. The right hand taps the right thigh. The right foot stamps the floor simultaneously. I'll show you this movement. Okay. Remember the words are important as well. So remember, this is the right side. I know I'm facing you, it might be a bit confusing because normally we'd turn around. Okay. So this hand is up, leg comes up and goes down like this. Okay. And that's called two. Do it again. Two. 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 Okay. Sounds easy. A lot of people say, all right, we've got this. Okay. And I hope you've got it. So now, obviously, we're going to the other side of the body, which is, what side will this be? Left, okay. So the left side, okay, and the next movement is called bick. Okay, another unusual word. The left hand taps the left thigh, the left foot stamps the floor simultaneously, okay? So get ready, okay? What we do as well, which I didn't do just before on Zoom, was to count you in. So let's count you into this one. Are you ready? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bick, 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 bick. So now you've got 2 movements, okay? So what was the first one?
Tomb.
Tomb. Hey, that was good. It's good to get feedback. What's the second one?
Bick.
Bick. Well done. Okay, so now you know the 2. Okay. So we've put a little courier score together, which Sean will do to some movement. And if you are feeling a bit energetic and you want to stand up, and you feel you want to do this, then that's fine. You can stand up, okay. As you can see on here, we've got a beat of 2, okay. It's still 4, but it beats to 2. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So first we'll start with what side? Can you see what side? We start with 2, which is what side?
Right.
So there's 2 tunes and 2 bicks. 2 bicks, 2 tunes. Okay, and then we go back up and start again at the top, which is very timed to the music. Okay, so we're going to get the music going. So just give me a little. Do you want it? Should we give it a dry run first?
I think you should let everybody have a go without music just to get a practice in.
Yeah. So I'm doing this.
Yes, and then I'll do the
I
music.
thought my assistant was going to do it, but it looks like he's pushing
Your
me into
assistant's balancing the camera.
it. So are you ready?
Yay!
Okay. So I'll count you in to the count of 4. Okay. So when I count you in, you go automatically into doing the movement. So you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2. Bick, 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 2, 2. 2, 2. Bick, 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 2, 2. Was that too fast? Was it too slow?
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yep.
Hey.
Got it.
Was it easy? Was it a bit difficult? Did it sort of test you a bit?
Yeah. It tested me a little bit, but I have Parkinson's disease.
Oh right, okay. Oh blimey, it will be quite testing, and that movement itself can be quite difficult, controlled movement.
It only tested me when I started thinking about something. I lost, and it was. Are you saying the word big, as in B-I-G, or bick, Sheila?
Bick, B-I-C-K.
And then I lost my train of it when I thought, is it big?
I'm glad you asked. I'm not sure how much you can see because of the way we're doing it, but
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The thing is, this is just a very beginner, very starting. And the more you get, the more you realise you have to focus. Concentration, you realise that you can't be thinking of shopping. You can't get distracted when you're sat there, because the moment you get distracted, you forget where you're going, what you're doing, and what you're supposed to be saying. It's a very focused, really, the concentration is just amazing. It really highlights how much it brings back in and makes you focus better. And one example of that, before we carry on, there was a lady that come and bought her husband's group, and the husband has Parkinson's, so she bought him, not for herself, but she was part of it, and she said, I'll do it with him. And she went home that night, obviously with her husband. And when she come back the following week, she said, I don't know how much it helped my husband, but it helped me. And I said, right, okay, because I always want to know how this has happened. She said, I went home, and she said, and I had so much mess going on my table. She said, I didn't get, that I hadn't cleaned up, I hadn't tidied up. She said, when I went home, this was one session, she said, I managed to put everything where it needed to be in file. She said, it brought that much to me and made me focus so well and put some concentration. She said, it was just amazing. And I was quite blown away with that. Just one situation we've had and one lot of feedback.
Sheila?
Yes.
I've got MS. I think I mentioned it before.
Yes.
I got diagnosed 12 years ago, and I'm sort of trying to self-heal myself at the moment with my gut health, etc. I've changed my diet and everything, and I do yoga, meditation a lot. But this sounds like it could be good for my concentration, because my concentration and my is horrendous, and memory terrible, organisation skills terrible, and it's driving me mad because I sort of get so far and then I seem to go backwards again, and I think it's probably the illness that's doing it. But if I can get this sorted, this looks like this could be the last sort of thing that'll help. So very interesting actually. But I found that quite confusing then, because I sort of get which I think my left side's terrible. My left side's always been terrible. I've always got problems, aches and pains on this side, so that could be to do with it.
Yeah, it's really interesting how it brings the focus, even just doing this once, like you just noticed, it highlights things that you might not have realised needed as much help as they did. You get up and you get on with work and you get on with doing what you need to do in a day. But doing this, like you just said, it does bring a focus to your body, but it also, as we were saying before, it connects to the brain and helps with neuroplasticity. So bringing both together really is an amazing thing he's done here with this method. And we do have people with MS that come to the group.
Right, okay.
And keep coming back. They haven't stopped coming up until COVID, unfortunately, and they found it so beneficial. And you could see the difference in them when they left the group. There was just a noticeable difference.
Definitely, that's good then.
So
where are you based?
We're based in Kendal. We're at the Beck Centre in Kendal.
That's not too far then. I'm in Cardiff, so it's not far at all.
Yeah, we have people come from Carnforth, we have people come from Kirby Lonsdale, we have people come from Grange, just all the areas really. We have quite a few people coming to our group. They catch buses. There's one, before I go on, and I know I'm trying to get back to this, but another scenario from a gentleman that he was coming from home, and his wife bought him, first of all, we were with Age UK at the time, behind the Captain French in Kendal. And his wife bought him the first few times, and he walked in with his head down, so low in himself, and he'd had a stroke, and he wasn't speaking. He was just totally, to be truthful, a lot of him. I thought his wife had just dropped him off to get a bit of freedom for the afternoon. So, as it was, he come in, and he went off out and hobbled back out. He didn't say a lot, and I thought we probably won't see him again, because I don't think he actually wanted to be part of it. He carried on coming back, needless to say, and along the way, 6 to 8 months, he was walking in a lot more confident. He had his stick. He started catching the bus by himself. His wife come in one day with him, and just to tell me what was happening and how much better he was, even though I could see it. And I said to him, well, how are you finding him better? What's happening? She said, he's arguing with me now. Oh. I thought, oh, really? Thank you for that one. No, she said, no, really. She said, it's okay. She said, because before he wouldn't be able to look up. He just walked off. He didn't have any focus. He had no concentration. She said, now he stands there, and we noticed a difference in him as well. He was starting to be more vocal. He would start talking to people. And then following that as well, he's now riding a bike around home. He's swimming. He's just improved. His improvements are just out there, and he's another one that's blown us away, you know, with the changes in him over, I'd say, about a year and a half, the gentle changes and big improvements.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting, you know.
Yeah.
Let's get back to this, and then we can wind it up, and if you've got anything else you want to say, you know, you can ask us. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So if you're having a little go, I'll just come out the way and let Sean go in.
You have to hold it.
Yeah.
Because it's on the
It's
charge.
okay. Okay, won't be a minute.
Hiya, I'm Sean. Sheila's able assistant and dog's body. I don't know where my glasses are, but you can probably see me very clearly. Everything else is a blur to me. So quick reason why I got into RGM. Sheila found out about Ronnie and got into RGM and brought it back home and talked about all these strange words, tomb and big. And I didn't get why all these words were strange until she explained that Ronnie's a jazz drummer. He's a lovely jazz drummer, and he's played with Dizzy Gillespie and all the jazz greats. And he's based it on the sound that his drum kit makes. So if we look at tomb, if you remember, tomb is that, which is really, when I'm doing it to our group, we do it backwards because they're going to mirror me, so they've got to make sure it's on the right side. So if I had a drum set in front of me, and I've got the bass drum here, I'm operating it with my foot, and it could be a cymbal on this side, or a smaller drum, or a snare drum. It makes the sound tomb, tomb, tomb. Opposite side, when you've got the drum kit, the sound is big, big, big. So all these strange words actually have a meaning, and they're based on the sound that the different parts of a drum kit make, and it's very much linked into rhythm. So what we're going to do is use a little bit of music, which is Eric Clapton and Change the World. And Sheila mentioned about the music that we use. Everything's very timed, and it's on so many beats per minute, and we change it all the time. Some of the music can be quite slow, like this as a gentle introduction. Some of the music, we use music from 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s now. We have had requests to use heavy metal music, which we've tried, and it works quite well, and it can be Queen. So all the different types of music can stimulate different things within different people. And what we find as they progress through the RGM, not so much a course, but the sessions, as their brain is working better and the neurons are firing, they can react quicker. So when they used to be doing something at 50 beats per minute, now they're doing this at 90 or 120. So it's very fluid and very progressive, working with people in their own conditions. Sheila never asks anybody to do anything that they can't do within their own condition. Just because I can raise my hand up there doesn't mean that one of our group members can raise it up there. So their version of tune just might be that. Their version of big might just be that. Big, big. So you work within the condition. What we do over a period of time is see that movement and that connection increase. And there's a lot of measurable outcomes that we've had. So anybody who wants to look at measurable outcomes and a lot of the research that's been done by neurologists, neuroplasticity surgeons and doctors and research institutes can contact us, and we can give you that information. That's my bit over. So we're going to do this. Sheila's just done tomb, tomb, big, 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 tomb, tomb with you. We're now going to do it to music. I'm going to start the music. I'm going to count you in. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn away from you, not because I don't want to talk to you. It's because so you can see the movements as they should be done, in case you want to mirror them. So I'll start the music, give it a go, and see what you think. Hopefully everybody's ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And somebody's just come back from having a coffee, which is great. So I'll count you in. Can you hear the music? Get ready. I'll be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2. Big, 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 big. 2, 2, 2, 2, big, 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 2, 2. And that's just a flavour. So hopefully you followed it. It's different with rhythm and it's different with music. It's just an added challenge, but it does get those neurons firing.
Did you find it?
How did everybody find it?
Yeah,
Did you follow it? Did you manage to follow it with the music?
yeah, followed it with the music.
Okay.
That's great. So that's a nice gentle introduction to some of the simple moves we do. We've got 19 moves. That's about 60 odd beats per minute, slightly less. We do things at 120, 130 beats per minute. So it's, again, and with 19 moves. So it shows you where we can take it. But we thought today, just give you something simple that you can just get a feeling for. So I'll pass you back to Sheila now. I think
Oh,
my job-
that's brilliant.
Okay. Oops.
She's on her way. Ta-da!
Right. How did you find that?
That was good.
Yeah,
Good, yeah.
So we sort of lead on to different things, different timing, as Sean said. We mix things together, which is quite interesting. We mix the moves together. Sometimes we'll have them not in a courier score, we'll just have them going across the page. Usually in groups of 4, because beats of 4 seems to work a lot better for people. But we do have beats of 2, you know, 2 movements, especially at first when people are just getting used to things. But it's very much adapted around the groups we have, you know, and what people need as well. And then we gradually build this. The other thing is the voice, you know, for a lot of people with Parkinson's. I know you were saying, you know, you have Parkinson's or even MS, anything really, but also stroke. We find people find it difficult to get their words out sometimes. And this really helps with the voice. And we look at sometimes putting a very large picture of maybe tomb, and a very big picture of tomb, but then a smaller one. So you'd shout tomb, you'd shout the word, and then go into a lower tone for the next one, which would be smaller. So we change it and mix it, and to be truthful, we have so much fun. We have lots of fun with it. I hope you've enjoyed this afternoon. This is me and Ronnie here, and I've enjoyed being part of this, and really, like all I can say is thank you, Debbie, for letting me have this.
No, thank you, Sheila. It's been great. I've learned more about it. I mean, has anybody got any questions, please, for Sheila? Amanda?
Yeah, thank you. I'm just making some little connections in my head, and I just wondered if you are familiar with the charity dance syndrome.
No, I'm not, no.
I don't know why I'm thinking of this connection, but they basically run dance classes for people with Down syndrome, and they have, I mean, it's quite widespread across the Northwest at least. And my friend is the MD, and I don't know, I just think there could be something to explore there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'd be nice. Another area to look at, you know, with different groups of people.
So what's your business actually called, Sheila? Because I'll mention it to her and see what occurs.
Well, this is called RGM, Set Your Brain in Motion. That's Ronnie's
Tagline.
Yeah.
How do I show her information about you?
By all means, you can get the information off Debbie today if you want to. Maybe that's the better way. I mean, it is up on here, but I don't think you can see this very clear. And
do you have a website?
We're on Facebook at the moment, but we're looking at a website hopefully this coming year.
There is an international website.
There is an international website, yeah, regardless of UK, but yeah, if you go on RGM, Ronnie Gardner method, you will find out there to do with the Netherlands. There's people running this very effectively in the Netherlands, in Sweden, in Portugal, in Israel, in Germany.
And what's your Facebook page called?
It's
RGM Northwest.
Yeah.
RGM Northwest. Okay, brilliant. And the other thing that occurred to me was, are you familiar with the Neuro Drop-In Centre?
Yes.
Well, we've heard of this a couple of times, and it's Lancaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Been to the bay, been to the hubs. There's one at the bay. It's Penny Folds.
Is that Penny Folds who runs that?
It's
No,
Sharon Jackson
Sharon.
who is the founder.
Okay. We've heard of it. We've not actually been in contact with her. We did some sessions at the university. We went to Lancaster University, and the lady there called Penny Folds, and she's the researcher for people with dementia and also Alzheimer's. And that was really great. And she really was buying up, wasn't she? She was saying, she actually took part in it with a few of the other people that she has running with her, and she was just blown away. Then after that occasion, they set up some hubs around the area, like drop-ins and things like that. I think we went to
Trimpole Sports Centre in Lancaster.
Yeah, we went to another one, and we did another one, but we've not we didn't continue doing it, but we'd like to get more into that. We've had a few people with dementia come to our groups, but we find
a good friend of mine, also another one, owns a home care business where they specialise in people with dementia and the elderly, and they have such heart in the business. I think they'd be really interested in what you do, so I will forward all the details to
anybody.
Yeah.
And I can certainly put you in touch with Sharon Jackson. I know her very well. You're a drop-in.
Funny, I was just going to say that I'm doing a charity, raising money for the Neuro Centre this week. We're doing a Christmas fair, which I'll put on my page, which is on Friday, because I'm talking about synergy and MS and how it helps me, etc. But the proceeds for the raffle and money we raise for that is going to the Neuro Drop-In Centre, actually, because one of my husband's best mate died of motor neuron disease last year. He was only 40, and he used to go to the Neuron Centre all the time and swore by the place. So it'd be brilliant. All these connections are just fantastic, and everybody knows somebody from somewhere else and so on. I know people from there as well, and so on. So I think we all got loads of connections to do MS. I need sort of dementia a lot. So
thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing this to see if it helps me as well. That'd be something else that I can say I've done as well.
I do think sorry Sheila to interrupt, but I do definitely think for people who maybe can't get out, I really think you should bring it online.
I must admit, I thought exactly the same thing. You could run a group
I thought that.
online, either by Zoom or whatever, very successfully, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
I really think you should look into it.
Sheila, can I just ask, because you did say something about copyright with this, and I would have thought, I don't know, but if you are able to do it face to face, whatever you're able to do face to face, legally, if you like, you should be able to do via Zoom. And also, if you contact whoever it is, because I am sure many people who've trained as you have, will be looking at this as an opportunity. And you've both just demonstrated how easy it is. My aunt is 86 now. She doesn't have Parkinson's or she's got slight dementia, but she would be able to follow that really easily on a screen. So I think you've demonstrated, both of you, just how well it could be used.
It's interesting that, because obviously we've not done it like this before, so we were wondering how we were going to put this together and make it so that you could really understand it. It's a very hard thing to explain, and sit and explain it, just doing a talk about it. We needed to actually show you and help you to feel and to be in connect to it, really. And I think that was important to us today. And I think, like, you're right there. I think if we can do this, you know, and put it over, and you've got it, and you understand that bit quite well. That's great for us to know that. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. It was really important. Thank you.
No,
and also with the once you get to grips with Zoom, and I'd highly, there's loads of really good videos out there, you know, because once you can do the video sharing of your screen, that will mean that the whole of our screen, you know, that whoever's watching will fill with that info. But the other thing, Sheila, I don't know, have you heard of Joe Wicks?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, some will have done. He's a guy who's a sort of keep fit instructor, but he through lockdown, he's got now millions and millions of people following him and doing daily exercise. But the big thing I love is it's in your room, you know, it's not intimidating for people who, you know, both of you doing it, of just people, you know, you're not like some sort of guru up there that's going to be a bit sort of intimidating or anything. So I think that's a big plus as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You see things and how you put your. I think for me and for Sean, we were just wondering how we could put it over, because not having that connection with people. I said to Debbie before, I didn't know how it was going to work, because I have connection with people and we see people and we're part of that. But being this, it feels a bit disconnected. You'll understand what I'm on about because of what you lot do. And for me, I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to feel quite disconnected because I can't see the people. But by the sound of it, we did get that connection over, you know.
Absolutely.
You'll get this is the way forward now. Everybody's doing Zoom. We won't ever talk to each other in person anymore if you carry on.
And
also, it'll all be by Zoom.
Zoom, you can set it up to do PayPal as well, Zoom, I believe. Is that right, Zoe?
Yes, absolutely. So there's lots of different ways, you know, I think, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll definitely look at this. I feel it's been good for us this afternoon, well, this morning, should I say. It's been good for us to look at and to do this for you. And thank you so much for your feedback as well. It really is helpful. You know, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, which I thought I'd be absolutely terrified of it, but it's been fun, you know, so thank you.
No, thank you. Has anybody got any other questions before we go? For Sheila?
I would like to ask Sheila if I could have a session with her sometime and see if she does a one-to-one or something, so and see if then I can see the difference, if you know what I mean, because I'm really interested in it. And see if, you know, hopefully I'll be climbing mountains next week and then you can see the difference. But yeah, if possible, if I can speak to you afterwards before, you know, if you stay on the line, and I'll stay on here and I'll speak to you about it, if that's okay.
Or I can always give you Catherine Sheila's number. I can.
Yeah,
I'm going to put it on the Keep 'em Connected anyway with all Sheila's details.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so it's been it's great because I didn't know what it was. I know you've talked about it, Sheila, so much when we've met at the events, but I wasn't really getting what it was about.
Well, I think it's a really difficult one to explain, like I said before. And I know when we come to Roots of Life, you've always been busy because you're always busy, and you wasn't able to be part of it. So I really, you know, I think it's been nice to have you on board and to see it today, to have that connection, you know, of what it's about as well. So
just to finalize, next week the talk is going to be with Bryony Rogers. Bryony is in New Zealand at the moment. She's wrote a book. You may have seen it. It's called The Healing with the Golden Road of Spirit. Because of the New Zealand time, she's going to have to do it at 7 o'clock UK time. So for anybody who's interested, so that's next Monday, and I will be putting that out. But yeah, just to say a really, really big thank you, Sheila, and also, you know, utilize the fact this morning that, you know, it's opened up a new door for you.
It has.
Look at all the new connections like Amanda's given you, and
appreciate that.
You know, and have you enjoyed it, Jennifer?
Very much so, and I've got friends that have got. There's 3 husbands with dementia. I'll be mentioning it to them and seeing if they're interested, because it just helps fill the day a bit. And as long as the women know how to use the technology, they can put it on for the men, and away they go. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully next year we will be out there again and doing small groups again. You know, we're still looking at the Deck Centre. A few times we thought we'd go back there, you know, with people with visors, and our group are so eager to come back, you know, they'll do anything to get back there. And they were all willing to come back. And we said, well, visors are essential, and we've got rooms set up in spaces. And so who knows, hopefully early next year we can maybe look at having a small group again, and be nice to have some new people to start this with, you know, as well.
That's brilliant. Right, well, without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope to see some of you next Monday. This will be recorded, Sheila, and I will put it up on YouTube at some point today and share it.
Thank you.
And share your details to everybody as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Debbie.
Of course, thank you to Sheila. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Take care. Thank you.
I'll give you a ring, Sheila. Bye.
Bye.